Once again, I am delighted to be joined by Russ Anber on 12th and final round. Russ, this is becoming satisfyingly frequent. How's everything going?
It is going very well, Neil. I just got back from, unfortunately, not a successful, but a very enjoyable week, as you know, in London on that card of what turned out to be just an absolutely humbling fight between Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. Just a great showing, which I think, proves the old adage that you don't need great fighters to make a great fight. And that certainly was, a great fight in terms of action, in terms of heart, in terms of, output and determination. And I mean, heart, everything you can think of was involved in that fight. But yeah, I was there, working with Liam Smith. Unfortunately, not the result we had hoped for. Just one of those things where, everybody at some point, Father Time gets you. And, Liam just wasn't able to pull the trigger on what would have been an outstanding fight between two outstanding prospects if this happened, to Liam, let's say the Liam of 2 years ago.
Well, of course, I watched that fight, and it didn't look like the Smith of old to me. The Smith that beat, say, Chris Eubank. He looked a little slow in that fight, and I thought McKenna looked really good. I thought he looked sharp, and with him being quite a rangy fighter, I think it just proved too much for Smith on the night.
And, McKenna proved to have a fantastic engine. I mean, he was still throwing hard in the last round. I think that bodes extremely well for his future, that he's got that kind of stamina and that kind of output and energy for 12 rounds. I think this was a huge test that he fought. And you mentioned, about Liam, coming off the first Eubank fight. We have to also go back. That was the same year where he had multiple fights. Russia, Anthony Fowler, Jesse Vargas. Like, he was busy. Like, his body was in shape in the gym all the time. He was ready to go. After that first Eubank fight, blowing up in weight, injuries, hurting his back incredibly, trying to get the weight off for the second Eubank fight, not being able to do so, dealing with injuries, that was supposed to have another fight, dealt with injury again, there was just too much toll on his body and not enough activity to keep him sharp the way he was, for the first Eubank fight and prior to that. And it's a shame, because he'll always be one of my favorite fighters I ever worked with.